Welcome to the Film Junket podcast.
Guys, before I get started here, I think I'm going to lead into the podcast by going off on a rant. People are fucking stupid. People. What? Oh, my God. All right, let's just go right into it. Okay, last night, I'm sure you guys are well aware if you follow me on Twitter, and if you're not, why not? I tweet out the most important shit ever. My opinions matter. Anyways, last night I tweeted out an image of Mark Wahlberg, okay? Because he posted an image on his Instagram, basically after the whole LeBron James thing going to the Lakers, and that was like a whole, pretty much like a meltdown. Or maybe this was like a couple, I don't even remember not my time frames anymore. But he posted on his Instagram a picture of him talking about how, because he's a Celtics fan, because he's a Boston guy. Did I even do that accent right? Probably not. Wicked awesome. Is that how they do it? Anyways, he was talking about how now his Celtics are going to rule the East now that LeBron is in the West. And he posted an image of himself, without a shirt, ripped his shit, of course, standing on a desk, posing with an older black gentleman. I'm assuming it's an ex-basketball player, Celtic player, probably. I don't know my basketball players, so I can't tell you who it was, and I didn't do a lot of research, because the big thing about that picture was the fact that on the wall, the entire cast of Batman vs. Superman was on the wall. It was just pinned up against the wall. Everybody. Cavill, Affleck, Godot, Adams, Irons. They were all just there. Just pinned up against the wall. And so I went, that's very strange. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to post this on Twitter and let's see how people react. Obviously, this is a joke and blah, blah, blah. So I posted, Mark Wahlberg confirmed for the DCEU, ... Guys, anytime I do ... don't take the tweet. You don't really have to. 99.5% of my tweets don't take seriously. But when I especially put a ... after, I do that a lot. Really don't take it seriously. And people, laughed at it, favorited, retweeted, nothing big. They were laughing. And then people were like, oh my God. Booster Gold, Hal Jordan Green Lantern, Guy Gardner Green Lantern. Some people were excited about it. They were actually naturally excited about it until today. I started my new job, so I don't have access to my timeline as frequently as I once did, and I'll talk about that in a bit. So I go on my lunch, and I finally, look at my timeline, and holy shit, for some reason that tweet all of a sudden started making the rounds. Making the rounds to stupid people. Just moronic people. People that were actually believing that this was true, and they were saying, if the DCU wasn't so bad, it would just get shittier, and shit like that. Because apparently, people don't like Mark Wahlberg. So there was those kind of tweets, and then all of a sudden I was getting, now DC has a racist on their team. And I'm like, what the fuck? Well, interesting. And then all of a sudden I got another one. Oh, they put that racist bastard in there. What? And then I got 3 more. All of a sudden, Mark Wahlberg is a racist. And I went, what the fuck? What the hell's going on here? Can I get some context here? Can I get some evidence? When the hell did Mark Wahlberg become a racist? And it turns out that 30 years ago, when Mark Wahlberg wasn't Mark Wahlberg, he was a young hoodlum, a criminal, because, when he first started off, he wasn't the best person. He was in prison. I think he went to prison. Yeah, he went to prison. He was actually supposed to be a New Kid with his brother, Donnie. They were both going to be part of New Kids on the Block, but he ended up going to prison. And apparently he beat up an Asian dude or something like that, shouted out racial slurs. There was some other stuff too that he did when he was young and stupid and just a hoodlum, just a thug, a piece of shit. And so that happened, and now people are like, oh yeah, he's a racist. Fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. And I'm going, okay, well, hold on here. Hold on. Because it made me realize something. Because in 2018, first off, when people were, I had people going like, why are everybody pissed off at Mark Wahlberg? I'm like, it's 2018 and he's a white guy. Just figure it out for yourself. So I was like, okay, that's okay. I understand that. That's bad. But then it made me realize something, guys. It made me realize that, okay, in 2018, where everybody wants like this utopia of no racism, no sexism, no nothing, but of course, mainly no racism, okay? Everybody wants to abolish racism. And I figured that, well, Mark Wahlberg's story kind of was like a nice story that could fit into that, because obviously racism is never going to go away. There's always going to be racism, but we hopefully can contain it and make sure it doesn't, go crazy like it once did. And it's not going to go crazy like it once did, no matter what people say. And so I figured, like, if there was actual racist people out there, wouldn't you want them to just, like, see the light, turn their life around, and then be just a nice person? And I figured, well, Mark Wahlberg's kind of like that. He started off, as a thug, a criminal, a piece of shit. And then all of a sudden he did the Marky Mark thing, and then he decided to develop a movie career, and now he's one of the biggest movie stars out there who works with many people of color. I mean, you look at his Instagram, he's been working with like P. Diddy and shit. He loves the Celtics, which is majority of, let's face it, basketball, majority of black dudes. And I'm thinking, okay, so he's turned around. But then, these people, they don't care. The people who are crying like, oh yeah, fuck this guy, he's racist. They don't care about that. Even though that should be what we want. We want people to turn their lives around and not be racist piece of shit. And we don't want them to be a racist piece of shit anymore and be a better person. It's exactly what he did. But these people don't want that. They want, like, even though that was 30 years ago, they would want his career to be dead and for him to get the shit beat out of him. Because these people that are really wanting this, they don't want that. They don't want this utopia. They want to call it out, and they want to play victim, and they want to, say that there's a target on people's backs and blah, blah, blah. They want to keep that narrative going because it makes them feel important, because these fucking pieces of shit don't want to do anything with their lives. They're not going to amount to anything, and that's all they're good for. Rant ended. I just couldn't believe the shit I was getting, First, it was people that was shitting on DC, and then it was people shitting on Mark Wahlberg and calling him a racist. And it just made me realize that these people, the fact that Mark turned his life around and now is a person that people generally want to do business and work with, the motherfucker, for the reshoots, for the money, wherever the Kevin Spacey shit, because of the backlash, he said, okay, fine, like, hey, sorry. First off, he was just being a good businessman, and sorry that Michelle Williams didn't ask for more. She just got the bare minimum in her contract. Mark Wahlberg is a businessman. He, agreed to, hey, I'm going to get $1.5 million for these reshoots. But he ended up donating all that to the Me Too movement. Yeah, what a piece of shit, right? So stupid. He turned his life around, and I thought that's what we would want from somebody who is from Boston. Let's face it, Boston's not exactly the best of areas, but of course it's getting better. But anyways, guys, what's happening? I just had to get that off my chest. I just couldn't believe the craziness. When I posted it last night, it was obviously a joke, and mainly everybody thought it was a joke, but people still fan cast him. Somebody actually asked me, and I'm like, I honestly can't see anybody that he could play. I thought about it for about 3 minutes hard, and I could not think. Of course, naturally, you go towards Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, but I'm like, nah, I can't see him as that. And then I was thinking of others, and I was like, there's nowhere. I'm like, I can't see him as a villain. I really can't see him anywhere. Obviously, he's got the physique, but I was just like, man, I like Mark Wahlberg, but I just can't see him. I would say, man, maybe Slim the Hal Jordan thing. Who knows? Of course, I'm drinking my vodka. I was supposed to record this podcast last night. Well, not supposed to. I don't know why I say that. It's not like I got a boss or anything. It's me. It was just, what happened? Well, let's dive right into the life changes. You guys have, if you guys have been keeping up with my podcast, a week and a half ago, I started my new old job. And some of you probably going, what the fuck does that mean? Well, I went back to my previous job that I had before because they hit me up saying they needed help, offered me more money than I was making, and I said, okay, let's do it. Because my current job was just not, it was just shitty. As much as I liked just sitting there at my desk and barely doing any work and just kind of like I could edit a video, I could look at my timeline. I think it's something my dad instilled in me because he's such a worker bee, and I think I just, I have that within me. It was frustrating. As much as I loved the fact that I could actually edit a video or maybe update my website or, do some social media, because I always got to remind myself that, doing the Twitter thing and the social media thing, it's part of the gig. It's part of this gig. Like, there's no... One thing that I'll tell you guys, if you're trying to do this, you're trying to be an entrepreneur, you're trying to develop an audience, develop a voice. I mean, part of it is social media, but you're not going to get anything back from that. If anything, you're going to get a lot of grief back for that. You're going to be, getting people on you, or you're going to have debates with people, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you're not going to get really any reward. There's not going to be any, you can't really monetize social media too much. I mean, yeah, some people can, obviously. Like, if I was an Instagram model with a big butt, yeah, obviously I can monetize social media. But that's not the case, even though I got a nice butt. Oh, man, I just went there. I'm sorry, guys. Whoa. What can I say? It gets me around. Anyways, I just got to remind myself that that's part of the gig, that social media, interacting, that's why when I do my short videos, I post it on Twitter, and I'll put hashtags to try to get it out there. But I mean, obviously I'm not making anything on Twitter, but of course I'll still post a video on my YouTube just for that part. And, but that was one of the smartest things I could have done because, a lot of people always tell me like, oh man, I love your short videos, because let's face it, attention spans are very small nowadays, very small in this age. But anyways, guys, so I started 2 Mondays ago at my new old job, and it's going pretty good. It's going pretty well. And, a lot of, some other changes are happening too, like my current living space. I'm going to be moving soon. Because I've told you guys before, my buddy, he rented out this property and he has a back house and I live in his back house. He said, hey, go ahead, live in there, low rent. Whew. It was, I couldn't pass it up because it was just like, all right, I could save some money, pay off some debts that I had, and I have. And I was able to, upgrade some things and everything like that. So, but now he's putting the house for sale. So eventually, yeah, probably in the next month or so, I'm going to be moving soon. So yeah, kind of stressful because, I'm just kind of going, okay, where do I go? I'm going to move closer and I got to just like I'm trying to figure things out. So, so last night I was just, I don't know why I thought I was like ready to record a podcast, and then I just started really thinking about and breaking down things. And I was like, no, I'm not going to record it. Let me just wait till tomorrow because obviously I don't work tomorrow, which is July 4th, which is when this podcast will be uploaded. So happy 4th of July, everybody. Independence Day. Hopefully you're stuffing your faces, you're drinking a lot, and you're going to see some shit blow up. It sucks that it is in the middle of the week, but it's kind of nice in a way too. But yeah, it would have been better if it was like a 3-day weekend, but whatever. So, all that stuff's going pretty good. We'll see what happens. I mean, it was an interesting first week, and, I'm just kind of going like, anytime you start a new job, you kind of get worried. You're like, okay, I'm on a trial run here. And so that's why I'm like kind of stressed, where I'm like, okay, hopefully I stick with it because I am going to be out to getting a new apartment, which I'm going to be paying way more rent than I'm paying now. And, that's going to suck if all of a sudden they go like, hey, it's not working out. Hopefully it does. So, but yeah. But overall, it's going pretty good. And, yeah, it was interesting to go back to my previous job. I mean, it's all new management. I left because the management before was shit, and then I got a job offer somewhere else. So it was cool. But then I came back, and, some familiar faces there, and just all new management, and very, optimistic and very just great. So far, so good. And it was cool, too, because I told you guys before, I worked 6:30 to 3:30. At my previous job, and I have a little bit of commute at the moment. Hopefully, like I said, I'm going to be moving closer to the vicinity of where I work. But I was worried because I was like, oh man, because before I worked 8 to 5, but then I kind of I asked if I could work 7 to 4 just to beat some of the traffic because I live in California where traffic is everywhere. Doesn't matter what time of day, you just hit traffic. Too many goddamn people, and the state doesn't want to do anything about it. Anyways, so I was going, oh shit, and then I found out that what? Some people work 6:30 to 3:30. What? So I asked, and then like, oh yeah, if you're gonna do that, go for it. And I was like, thank you. So I'm working the same schedule, and it is closer to home. And hopefully it gets even closer to home, but just my current home, it's like 20 minutes closer. So I get off at the same time, but I get home earlier than I usually do, which is great. So the only thing that sucks is at my previous job, they gave me a work truck because I did fielding stuff. This place, I don't, so I'm driving my own car. So yeah, that does suck. But like I said, they offered me more money, so it kind of all balances out. Anyways, what's going on with you guys? Wait, I can't hear you. Anyways, yeah, some what's going on, real life stuff, everything's going, let's see, we still hate Trump, right? Of course we do. I swear, that man could literally be given the power to cure cancer, and it would still be spun some way where people hate that man so badly. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can understand the cockiness and the way he tweets. Yeah, he's a moron when it comes to certain things. Not when it comes to business. Obviously, that's why he got where he's at. But my God, like this whole immigration thing has just been just a hot button issue. And I just found it funny, and I tweeted it out like last week or something. I'm like, man, it took electing Trump and a year and a half into his term for people to realize how fucked up some of these immigration laws are. Because the way shit's going right now with the whole separating of families, that's been around for years. I mean, I thought I heard it's been around since like the late 90s. It first started when all of a sudden this article went viral that showed kids in like cages and stuff like that. Sorry, I had dinner like not too long ago, so I can't have burp. Anyways, that started going around. But when he opened it, it was an article from 2014 under Obama. And it's just kind of like, I was just found it funny. And I find a lot of things funny like that. It's weird how people are so woke now. In 2018, we're so woke. I mean, it's like this whole Scarlett Johansson thing. It's like, oh, now she's playing a transgender. Fuck that shit. We need transgender. I'm like, well, what about the previous times? Like Jared Leto and Eddie Redmayne, who got nominated for Academy Awards. Leto won for playing transgender, and they're not really transgender. Nobody gave a fuck about that then, or at least, it's all fucking stupid. Anyways, I'm doing a little short video about that later. It's just amazing how people just didn't give a fuck before, and now they're just like knee deep in all this political shit. And it's crazy when I see celebrities just melt down and just talk like illogical about a lot of things. And they think that it's crazy how they make it seem like America is just like a horrible place to live. Horrible place to live. It's a racist country. It's a sexist country. There's rape culture everywhere. It's horrible. But hey, open the borders. Everybody come in. Everybody. We want you here. Do you realize that doesn't make any sense? If this place is so horrible, why do you want everybody to come here? Oh, wait, because it's not horrible. That's right. Ha! Happy 4th of July, people. Cheers. It's not horrible. And I've said that many times. And like I said, I mean, when I going back to the Mark Wahlberg thing, these people, if somebody's racist, these people want that person abolished. They want their career ended. They want them to get thrown in jail. They want them to get beaten. Instead of actually hey, can we show this guy the light? Maybe he could turn his life around. They don't want that. They don't want that. Not at all. They claim that they do, but they don't. They don't. And you're fucking deranged if you think like that. Okay? You're fucking deranged. And if you think this is a horrible country, then fucking leave. That's what I always say. I'm like, if you think it's so horrible, I'm like, and it's funny too, because I always say, look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, please. Can we look at that guy, please? First off, he doesn't talk about politics. Why? Well, what I've heard is he's conservative. That's right. And if you were to say that, yeah, people would, his career would be in peril, which is sad. Oh yeah, he's got a different politics. So that's what I've heard, that he's conservative. I might be wrong. Who knows? Maybe I heard wrong. But can we look at him, please, as inspiration? Because that guy inspires me. That guy has the biggest motor. He built himself an empire. Okay? He went from poor to building himself an empire and being the biggest movie star in the world. And he's not white! It's like, what the fuck? He's not. Why can't we look at him for inspiration? Look at his Instagram. He's constantly trying to inspire people. The guy, he's a force to be. I don't know why we can't just look at him. Like, we think that this country is so racist. And I'm like, look at Dwayne Johnson, and not a non-white man who is killing it. It's funny, too, because you look at the averages, like families, households, and blah, blah, blah. Asian and Middle Eastern, they're kicking more ass than white people. But nobody mentions that. White privilege, Why is that, though? Well, it's because they keep to themselves while everybody else is fighting. They're kicking ass and being quiet while everybody else is fighting. That's pretty much what it is. I saw a thing today, too, where, like, ICE, ICE, where everybody wants ICE to go away because they're horrible. It's a horrible organization. My God, they're taking people. First off, when it comes to the immigration thing and separating from families, first off, can we do some research? Yes, that was happening, but they were making, of course, like Rachel Maddow on CNN crying, making it sound like these children were literally being ripped from the hands of their mothers, which wasn't happening. That didn't happen. Nothing of that happening. There are parents from other countries that are sending their kids by themselves to get to America. By themselves. A shit ton of these kids are coming by themselves. Okay? And then, of course, people are saying, like, oh, man, these detention centers are like concentration camps. Like back when, the Jews and all that stuff. Yeah. Try to ask somebody who's a Holocaust survivor if that's the same. They will fucking laugh at you and call you a piece of shit. That's disrespectful for the Holocaust survivors. Big time disrespectful. Okay, these kids, yeah, okay, I totally agree that they shouldn't be separated from their family and blah, blah, blah. And I hope that they change the laws now that everybody knows what it is, that this is happening, that certain things are happening, even though it's not every kid and family. Where was I going with this shit? Oh, yeah. Okay, these detention centers, they got AC, they got medical attention, they got food, they got games. Of course, the media is going to make it look like they're in fucking kennels. But it's not the case. They're in a much better place than they were wherever they came from. And not to mention the journey. But they need to fix, yes, they shouldn't be pulling families apart. I totally agree with that. But like I said, there is a big chunk of kids that are just coming here alone. And that's bullshit. Shouldn't have that. My God. But everybody's just, just keep the borders open, get rid of ICE, blah, blah, blah. I almost want like this utopia that the far, far left people want. They should just give it to them for like a week or two and see what happens. Because it's just nuts how the way things are spun. And, you watch CNN and you get a version. You watch Fox News and you get a version. It's so stupid, and it's both just bad. It's both bad. That's what I've always found myself more centrist, I guess. I don't know those labels or anything. Never said I was conservative. Never said I was liberal or Republican or Democrat. It's just like, good God. I always look at everything in the middle. Like, okay, well, that's stupid and that's stupid, and I'll point at both sides of what's stupid, I just find it funny that it used to be where, like, uptight Republican white people used to be like, oh my God, rap music? That's terrible. Oh my God, get that, whatever that's on, it's sex on the TV. Oh my God. They used to be the ones that wanted to control shit like that. But now it's the left that wants to control shit, because if you disagree with them, they want you ended. They want you to end. It's very strange. It's odd. And like I said, anything that Trump does, that doesn't matter. And you really have to like look at the like video footage yourself because you can't trust the media anymore. It's like, how is it that all like the media just lies and people still trust it? I don't understand that, because like when Trump, obviously you guys know I'm half Mexican. I have a full Mexican family, but I've always said some of them voted for Trump. I've literally had people saying like, "Oh yeah, man, Trump's after your family," and I'm going, "No, they're not. They're fine. They're here legally. They have nothing to worry about. They are doing just fine." And it's just like, it just amazes me when people actually say that to me. And to me, that's some racist shit. That's more racist than actually, I mean, you might as well just call us beaners or whatever the fuck or something. I don't know. Like, how can you say that? You're literally saying that the government is after half of my family. And I'm going, well, okay, no. It's so stupid. I remember he was, they told him like, oh yeah, he thinks Mexicans are all rapists and drug. And I'm like, no, well, let's look at the footage. No, they didn't really say that. He said that some bad people are coming over the border. Okay. And then of course the MS-13 thing, that was a little weird, but it was spun where, Trump calls all immigrants animals. And I went, that seems weird. What do you, he just called MS-13 animals. And I'm like, oh, you mean the gangs, the gangs out there that kill children and rape children? Yeah, okay. And then there was literally people defending MS-13, and I'm going, holy crap. These guys hate this man so much that they're defending child killers. It's nuts. Like, it's just so odd the way things are right now. And I'm not trying to be anything right now, guys, and I'm sure some people are like, fuck this guy, I'm never listening to him again. That's fine. I'm pointing out that it's so odd. It's just really odd to me. That's all. That's all I'm pointing out. It's just very strange, And I just hate it when, and I used to be like that too. I used to hate, I got really into the conspiracies, and I'm like, fuck this country. Oh my God, look at what they're doing. I got deep into it because anybody can. And then I kind of like let loose. There's some things I kind of still question, which is fine. That's what we should. You should question everything. You really should. Question everything, research, but nobody wants to do that. Nobody does. They want to read tweets. They want to read tweets and pose for fucking selfies, man. That's all they want to do. They want to be Instagram famous, YouTube famous. That's what they want. They don't care about anything else. It's fucking retarded. That's what I'm more worried about. I'm not worried about climate change. I'm not worried about another civil war. I'm worried about what the next generation, who's going to be, building the bridges and doing all this other crap. The stuff that we need to maintain. That's what I'm worried about. And I know, like, and white men are like the devils, but it's like, okay, well, but done so much. I get it. People want to punch that into their iPhones. I'm like, oh, white guy created that. Maybe it helped with some other, guys created that. Yeah, the car you're driving, the freeway you're driving on, whatever. Anyways, let's get off all that. Snyder Cut, Comic-Con. Well, I just posted a video about the, Snyder Cut. And, about the bloggers and why, Scoopy Pants and Mr. Jetita, because he has two T's. Today, just basically saying like, it doesn't exist. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever. That's fine. They could say that all they want, because they are tapping into their source, and their source is telling them that it doesn't exist, and that's fine. Yes, of course it doesn't. But you come over to Film Junkie, I have a source that is good friends with Zack Snyder, and yes, it does exist. Sorry. It does. I still believe that he's not going to be at Comic-Con, and there's not going to be any announcement. I mean, dude, guys, and I see people say like, oh man, it'd be nice if like people were more supportive and blah, blah, blah. And I get that you want like 100% everybody supporting the campaign, the movement or whatever. I'm sorry. I can't fully do that, especially when I know more than the average person. And I'm trying to be a little logical about it. I am still a voice in this community. I can't just like go full on this direction, and I think people probably have unfollowed me and probably talk shit about me and blah, 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 because I do like MCU movies. I don't make videos to shit on them. I do make fun of some of that stuff when I feel that it's necessary, like the whole Ant-Man and Wasp thing. Of course, I made fun of that the F word was used again. But then there was an article saying like, oh yeah, after Infinity War and all the dramatic moments in that, God, Ant-Man and Wasp is a breath of fresh air. Like, really? It was a breath of fresh air to have Infinity War, to have that dramatic moment, to have that shocking ending that nobody really saw coming. I'm sure some people did, but I sure as hell didn't. And I was like, oh, there's going to be some deaths, but I didn't think half the fucking crew was going to go away. And of course, they're not naturally dead. I get that. I love how people just constantly throw that, hey, there's no weight behind it. I'm like, well, yeah, in the context of the story, it works. I mean, it's the same thing with like Batman vs. Superman. We knew that Superman was coming back. He wasn't staying dead. But in the context of the story, it was done very well. Like I said, when it comes, I mean, the only one that really sticks is the Logan death. That's probably the worst one. That's the one that gets me choked up the most. Like I said, I have the 3 comic book movie, like punch the heart in the balls endings, which is Batman vs. Superman, Superman dying, Logan dying at the end of Logan, and then of course Infinity War and Peter and Tony. That was. But obviously Logan wins that one because he actually died. That was the end of an era. The other 2, we know these people are coming back. I would say it goes Logan, Batman vs. Superman, and Infinity War when it comes to like how it hits. Logan's just, I can't watch that movie without fucking like shedding a tear. Batman vs. Superman, I just get choked up when Superman dies. Infinity War, well, I haven't been able to watch. I've only watched it twice, but I probably just, just get choked up. It's just not as impactful as, of course, the other 2. But yeah, don't expect it too much with Comic-Con. Like I said, I hope they actually talk about just the stuff that's in active development. I hope they mention Batman. I hope they mention Flash, Suicide Squad 2, Harley Quinn, maybe as well too. I don't think they will go as that far. But, the ones that are ready to go, I hope it's Batman and Flash they talk about, besides the other 3. But I don't... and like I said, I agree with these big bloggers when they say, like, no, Warner Brothers wants to move on. They're looking forward to this, that, and this. And I'm like, I totally agree with that. I'm not going to shit on that. I totally agree that Warner Brothers wants to move on. And like I said, Snyder, yes, of course, he was able to he still has the footage. He was able to still put whatever together. The fact of the matter is he just can't release it. Can't. So, we'll see what happens. And speaking of Spider-Man and the MCU, I guess that's already started filming. Far From Home. Far From Home. Yeah, it's a shit title. I get it. It's a shit title, but so was Homecoming. Just say Spider-Man 2, but they can't because first one was just strictly Spider-Man, the first franchise. Second franchise was the Amazing. They could have just called it Spectacular. Nah. Yeah, they could have. Because he has a spectacular, more vibe to it. I just hope they tap in. They really challenge Peter. The first one was a little hokey at times. But, I mean, I still think one of the best moments in the MCU is like when Peter is stuck under that rubble and he sees a reflection where half his face is the mask. Very much a comic book looking shot. And he's freaking out. Like, it kind of broke my heart at first when he was like, freaking out, because I know how that is. I have a fear of being stuck under things. Like, I don't have a claustrophobia. I don't have a claustrophobia fear, but what the fuck? That didn't even make sense. I don't have claustrophobia necessarily, but if I can't move, I'll start freaking out. So that scene, I felt what Peter was feeling. Like, oh man, I couldn't even imagine. Like, being like underneath all that, you just start losing your shit. And he does. And I thought it was well acted by Holland and blah, blah, blah. Even though that's not my Spider-Man. That some people claim. He doesn't have acting chops either. Not like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire because, we can't have nice things. No, but I thought that was a great scene. I think it's just because I knew what he was feeling. Like, I put myself, wow, if I was there, God, I'd be freaking out too. So it hit me. Maybe if you didn't like it, that's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal. And yes, Spider-Man Homecoming, stupid title. Far From Home, an even bigger stupid title. I get that. I just hope whatever villain, which is probably Mysterio, if it's Jake Gyllenhaal, I don't know what the hell's going on. It's going to be interesting. But I mean, hey, if Gyllenhaal saw something in the script, hey, take it. I love when people are like, oh man, he's going to be wasted. It's like, I don't think he feels that way. And to me, Michael Keaton in Homecoming was not wasted. That scene in the car was also epic. There's a lot of things I don't like about Homecoming. I don't like the side characters. Your MJ or Michelle Zendaya, fucking annoying. I hope that she's not in the sequel. Your Flash Thompson was horrible as well. Except for Ned. Ned was cool. I liked the friendship between Peter and Ned. No, that was fine. And I liked Aunt May, Marissa Tomei. Totally cool with that. Totally cool with her finding out that Peter's Spider-Man. People were like, oh, it's fucking stupid. Blah, blah. I'm like, come on. Man of Steel, we had Lois already know who Superman is because obviously, come on! I'm telling you, you can just like flip it around and all of a sudden people are like, no. And I'm like, come on. You flip it around, it's like the same thing. Can we stop fucking fighting amongst each other? Jesus. Anyways, so I don't know. See what happens. Is there any other MCU movies that are currently? I think they fully finished Avengers 4, Endgame, possibly. It's not going to be Endgame. They're going to change it again, I feel. Probably do more stuff on that. But, yeah, that's pretty much all that's there. And, of course, we got, Wonder Woman 1984, Shazam, Aquaman. It's going to be great. So, 2 weeks? Something like that. 2 weeks from this weekend. It's going to be crazy. That Saturday, whoo, it's always a fun day. I mean, some people ask me, like, why aren't you going to, you live, like, I live probably an hour and 50 minutes, just under 2 hours away from San Diego. So why am I not going to Comic-Con? Well, I don't like big crowds and the heat. I mean, I don't mind the heat, but being in the heat, big crowds, I'm sure it's pretty stinky in there. I could probably get in with a press badge. I get that. I think I might try to go next year. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But the thing is, it's like if I go, I'm not going to go on the Saturday. I'm not going to wait in line forever or whatever the hell to try to get in the big panels. Because it's only me running my stuff. And, big things come out of those big panels. And I'm like, I want to cover them, trailer reaction and whatever news comes out of that, So I actually just liked sitting at home, in my undies or whatever, in air conditioning and just kind of watching and seeing what's going to happen, Conventions are fun, but like I said, if I do end up going next year, I probably won't go on that Saturday. I'll probably go like Thursday, or whatever the fuck, it starts, and just to get a feel for it. But when it comes to the big panels, I'm going to be in front of my computer and just doing it. I need to go as Casual Batman. I'm going to bring him back. Some of you probably don't even know who Casual Batman is. I mean, if you look at my channel, you type it in, you'll find him. Yeah, it's just, I've been really thinking a lot about getting like a base schedule with my YouTube videos. Because, ever since, Justice League came out and just covering everything that was going on with that and everything. But now we're way past it, and who knows what's going to happen in the Snyder Cut. Obviously, when I do a video about the Snyder Cut, that's going to draw the more traffic. I get that. And so do these bloggers. They get that too. And I know that I've built my audience on, talking about that stuff and being, talking about the DCEU. But, I am the film junkie. I started this because I love movies. So I kind of want to get like segments back and segments together, bring back Casual Batman. And well, that's still DC stuff, and a lot of people got a kick out of that, and I'll bring it back. It's just very hard. Takes a lot of time, and I just, now that now that I'm not posting videos like crazy, you know, because there's not crazy news all the time, I can take my time with it. And that's what I'm trying to find a balance, guys. It's difficult. I tell you what, when you're trying to build up an audience, you're trying to just keep it going, keep your brand going. Like you're trying to do YouTube. I mean, first, the hardest part, I got past the hardest part, which is basically just trying to get out there, you know. You could instantly grab an audience, or it could take you forever. You just never know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. There's no solution. When you're like, how can I make a video go viral? There's no answer. There's really no answer. Yes, it pisses me off when fucking that Logan dickhead, you know, posts a video and he gets 6.5 million views for just like posting a 10-second video about something, you know. Yeah, it sucks. And I'm sitting here trying to like, you know, be professional and sound like I know what I'm talking about and blah, 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 blah. It's hard. It sucks. But, you know, I built up my audience. I'm over 25,000 subscribers, you know. You know, and try to build up those views. It's a roller coaster. You look at your monthly views. Sometimes you're up, you're down, you're up, you're down. It's difficult. But now that, you know, there's not like a shit ton where it's like, oh, constantly talking about, you know, Justice League and DCU, you know, it's like, it's not as frequent as it was. So obviously I've taken a dip in views, but it's just like, you know what? But I want to like start developing like more segments that I, you know, been thinking about. One being bringing back Casual Batman. With Casual Batman, I have to write out a full script. I got to put makeup over my eyes. I got to wear a latex mask. And it's summertime, and my place gets hot. It's not easy. And then I gotta do that voice and record. And usually it'll take about a half an hour to 45 minutes because obviously it's not all just like one shot. Yeah, I do the editing. So my voice, it's a difficult thing, and it's very hard to do when, you know, I'm gone for work, you know, I'm gone and, you know, and I go to the gym after work and run some errands and blah, blah, blah. So I'm gone like 12 hours a day, and then I got to get home and do videos. And then on the weekends, it's difficult too. I just get lazy, you know, I just get lazy, or I just want to sit, just veg out and watch something. It's hard. It's hard, guys. But yeah, if you're developing your audience, you just gotta, there's a lot of things you gotta take in with all that stuff, man. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. And like I said, I'm going to get it back there and bring back those autocorrects that I used to do that I thought were funny, but I got to figure out how to do it where I won't get my channel deactivated again. My God. And how about that Superman how about that Superman thing? And there's like a new image of Superman looking great, even though like I said, 16 seconds before that, he looked like shit. I'm also a big fan of Justice. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's amazing how fucked up that movie got. I just don't get why studios haven't learned. I really don't get. What? Holy shit. Hold on a sec. Did I just see that right? Oh my God. Oh, okay. What the hell? That was very strange, guys. So I'm about to dive into the questions here. You know, and I typed in Film Junket podcast. When I typed in, and it auto-filled Film Junkie fuck off. But when I actually opened it, it says no results for Film Junkie fuck off. That makes no sense. Wow. What the hell? I don't understand that. That's very strange. It's very strange. Why did it autofill that, but yet there was nothing there? Was at one point it was there? Possibly. Like I said, there's people that fucking hate me. I don't give a shit. It comes with the job. It really comes with the job. Oh, God damn it, Twitter. Twitter! Okay, Twitter crashed. My Twitter crashed. I clicked on the latest, and it just completely froze up. Well, looks like I might not be answering questions. Twitter is not opening up for me now. I might have to do it on my phone, I guess. Jesus Christ. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's dumb. Yeah, it is not working at all. Let's see. Film. Oops. Film. Yeah, I literally have to do this on my phone because my Twitter on my desktop is not working at all. That is strange. Yeah, I got a Mac, and sometimes this fucking browser, the Safari browser, it just glitches. It just sucks. Getting a message right here. Shit. Sorry, guys. Hold on a sec. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, it's just not pulling up on her, so I'm going to have to read it off my phone. All right. Questions time. Painter of Comics, at Painter of Comics. Good old buddy. So, Dave, this isn't a question, just a comment, but if you're ever free, then check out the DC comic book Metal series. DC is collaborating with the Warner Brothers Music Studios to release the soundtrack for it. I've seen the commercial. It sounds badass. They have taken out 4 tracks, including one for Red Death. Okay, I haven't checked it out yet. I plan on to, though. The DC Metal series, I've heard good things. I still can't believe my browser's not working. That's crazy. Maybe if I close it. Jesus. And how does it just not work? It's so strange. Anyways, Mr. Red Hood, King Cairo 7. Do you think the Red Hood will be in the Batman movie? And if not, what villains would you like to see in the Batman movie? Well, obviously I want to see Deathstroke, for fuck's sake. I wouldn't mind seeing Red Hood and some of the Bat family. I'd like to see an updated Two-Face. Well, we've already seen Two-Face twice, but I don't know. There's just something about it because I recently reread Long Halloween, and I don't know. It's just, I mean, I know there's elements of that in Dark Knight, but I don't know. It's just something. But if you also read All-Star Batman, the first All-Star Batman that came out a while ago, the little road trip between Batman and Two-Face, that was great. Hizard Wary, at Hizard Wary. What is your take on DCU's current slate? What things would you change, and which movies do you think are necessary, not necessary? Generally curious. It's all interesting to me. People go like, I don't think I want this movie. I'm like, fuck it. I love it all. I'm an optimistic person, guys. Even though like I rant and get pissed off at things, I like it all. If you want to do a movie about fucking Squirrel Girl, okay. I know that's Marvel, but still, it's just the first thing that came to my head. I'll watch it and see what it's like. You know, I'm looking forward to the Nightwing movie. A lot of people are like, I don't need a Nightwing movie. Fuck that. I want to see a Nightwing movie. Yeah, the current slate. Like I said, there's not really a current slate, and they shouldn't talk about any kind of slate. They should just talk about the things that are actively developed, you know? So then they're not, like, backtracking. Vibhu J asks, should DC have to reboot itself and connect that universe into the DCEU with Infinite Crisis? Any thoughts? No, they shouldn't do that. Nah, fuck that. They don't need to do that. I don't think they should. Yash Hanspal, at Hanspal Yash. In Zack Snyder's recent post, he wanted us to concentrate on the colors of Superman, i.e. red and blue. What did he mean by this? I know. That's why I made that video with the tinfoil hat, which was inspired very much by Chris Wong. I was just fun. You got to make fun, you know. A lot of people take this shit really seriously where it gets too much. And, you know, I don't take things too seriously. And I know some people hate the fact that I'm probably not as, like I said before, I'm not as supportive with this shit. You know, I'm not making a video daily about, oh my God, Snyder Cut. It's just not me. You know, I'll make it when I deem it necessary. But I'll also make fun of certain things because you have to have a sense of humor about this shit. You really do. Really gotta. I still cannot. My browser is just not working. That's so weird. Stupid fucking Macs. The movie Jam with 2 M's. Did you see Sicario 2? Your thoughts? Did not. It would have been on my. I would have had a first reaction in a review already. I wanted to. This was last week, my first week back at my new old job. I was all set and ready to do it, and I lost motivation. I was like, I was just beat, worn out, and I said, fuck it, you know what? And it was funny because I bought my ticket. I went to buy my tickets late, so like the normal 7 o'clock showing was pretty much completely sold out. So I was gonna go see a 7:30 showing, and just the thought of that being a half hour later just made me lose steam. I do want to see it though, because I love the first one, and I heard this one was good too. Peter Michael Haddix at Limit 3P asks, what is really going on with the release of the Snyder Cut movement? Is this something to hope for, or is it a pipe dream? Well, like I said, it's all just kind of up in the air right now. You've heard my stance on it. Paul P. asks, now that we're starting to get some sense of what Shazam, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman 84 will look like, what is your take on the tone of DC films going forward? Heading for more light-hearted family fun, or is there still a chance for grounded realism without the jokes? I saw this tweet the other day. Wonder Woman has darker elements than Man of Steel. It does. I thought that when I first saw it, too. I'm like, there's some dark shit in here. Babies crying, people like in, war. A very cold London. There's some dark elements in there. Darker than stuff in Man of Steel. Not Batman or Superman, obviously. But still. Shazam needs to be lighthearted. I don't give a shit about that. Wonder Woman, I hope, keeps the same tone. And I'm not worried about Aquaman because James Wan is the GOAT. That people say GOAT. I guess he's a GOAT. I honestly believe that he is. Sorry, getting some candy. That's all. Let's see. What else? This guy here at DCCEU1. What are your thoughts on Robert Storm on YouTube? I have no idea who that is. Sorry. I guess I can look right now, but my browser sucks. I don't know what's going on with it. Is it working now? Oh, you know what? I wonder if... I know, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what's going on with my browser. Let's see. Is that going to open? No. Still not opening. I wonder if maybe I gotta shut off my Wi-Fi and turn it back on. See, I'm like troubleshooting as I'm here with you guys. Anyways, keep going. Section XP23. He asks, you think kryptonite bullets to defeat Superman in BVS sounds unrealistic? Yes. Because what I thought of when I think about that, a lot of people are like, oh my God, Batman, he's killing people, and look at him fucking using guns and blah, blah, blah. So why didn't he make kryptonite bullets? I mean, he used some automatic weapons to shoot at Superman, but I think he was just trying to do that to distract him. Batman wanted to beat the shit out of Superman, and then, yeah, that was what's wrong. My Wi-Fi was fucked up. Yeah, now I'm good. He could have easily fashioned that shit into a bullet, but he didn't. He wanted to weaken him, beat the shit out of him, and then do it old school with a spear. Because obviously that's more mythological kind of thing, whatever the fuck, That just shows you right there. It's like, oh yeah, you think Batman was just all, trigger happy, killing everybody? So why didn't he make fucking kryptonite bullets? Could have easily done that. No, he didn't. Because even though he lost his way, that still wasn't him. He wanted to weaken Superman and beat the shit out of him. And he did. And then he took on 25 guys to rescue his mom. Motherfucker! That's what I always say, man. That's what I love about. God damn it. That's what I love about that movie. Batman wouldn't do that. Yeah, no shit. That's what's great about this movie. Batman lost his way. He almost killed Superman, and Superman helped him find his way again. You guys fucked it up, and then Warner Brothers fucked it up. My God. True DC News asked, number one, do you know how to sub to DC Black Label? Because I can't figure it out. I have no idea either. I know I want to check that out too. I wonder if they're going to... I remember somebody was saying like they might use the Black Label name for like the supposed Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. Number two, I'm sure you'll discuss today's Snyder Cut, theatrical cut fiasco. Looks like people forgot about the Snyder trailer and how it was blue. You think Warner would really mix the cuts together? I doubt it. No, what they want to do, if they want to release another extended cut, I know a lot of people were just like freaking out about that because the Jason photography guy thought that, oh yeah, he has a bad feeling that they're going to release a more Joss extended cut, which I don't believe is true. I think if they were going to release an extended cut, it would have more Snyder scenes. And also, we got to be careful. I mean, I know like he's supported this and stuff like that, but you know, don't take everything that everybody has to say to heart, you know. And he even said, I'm just speculating, guys. And it's like, dude, well, first off, he needs to watch what he says because now people are like they're like examining what he'll say. You just got to be careful, that's all. Yeah, that looks like it's it. It's all the questions. So there you go, guys. Appreciate it, as always, you know. And, yeah, keeping it just under an hour. I think, like I said, as far as my new format, I'm going to try to do one of these once a week and then, of course, do live broadcasts, too, with people, which is always fun. And, like, talking to Chris and other people. You know, it's always good to get to know people within the community. So, anyways, guys, appreciate you listening. Sorry I rambled on. You know, if you think I'm an asshole, that's fine. You know, we're too busy, you know, worried about what other people think. I don't care. Just say it how I look. You know, some things I just don't like, I'm going to point it out. You know, I pointed out the other day, I think it was yesterday, that because there were some Last Jedi things that were coming out, and I saw people talking positive about it, and then there's just people that immediately shit on it. You know, somebody was saying like, man, there's a lot of people that just did not get, Last Jedi was too smart for them. And then I saw DC fans go, oh, fuck, are you saying, yeah, it was too smart, and I'm like, well, there was like a whole article that people praised that said Batman vs. Superman is too smart for Marvel fans. And I'm like, it's pretty much the same thing. Now, it's not exactly the same. Don't get me wrong. You know, I think the DCEU has definitely got more shit on than certain things with The Last Jedi. Batman vs. Superman's definitely had, but there's just it's like a similar base, you know, you got iconic characters, and fans wanted them a certain way, and they didn't get that. And these creative people, these writers and directors wanted to take it somewhere differently, deconstruct the characters, and a good portion of the fan base just did not like it. That's where it's similar. It's just, but just seeing the reactions, and I'm like, that's I heard that 2 years ago. I heard that 2 years ago when Batman vs. Superman came out, and blah, blah, blah. You're saying that about Luke Skywalker now, you know? Fandom. You gotta love it. Anyways, guys, appreciate you listening, and talk to you later. Talk to you later. Talk to you later. Talk to you later. Talk to you later.